Hi friends, welcome to Inspiration from the Nook. It's November something, the Sunday before Veterans Day. I don't even know what the date is, but today is very pretty, 67 degrees, and this is probably the only decent day that we're gonna get in the next 2 weeks. Welcome to Inspiration from the Nook, and today's Nook is still my garden. I'd probably be doing the garden as my Nook for as long as I can do something outside, and then maybe later on I could do something else indoor, because the pretty days is very much I mean, they're dwindling. They're not gonna be days like these for us. You know, we're November, so I'm gardening from zone 6, that is Illinois. Although I have to tell you though, this is Illinois, so you'll never know. So on Monday we have a very beautiful day today, but tomorrow the forecast is snow. So even if the forecast would say we're gonna be in the 40s and the 50s and the next day, you never really know. This is Illinois, so go figure. Anyway, let's get started. I'm gonna get my bulbs to the ground today. Initially, I had this grand plan of, you know, putting alliums and daffodils and tulips in this area, until my husband yesterday dumped all the leaves in here, and I thought it'll be more work for me to try to sort of remove the leaves or part the leaves to find where I should be able to plant my bulbs. So I don't know, I might just leave this one alone and work on this one in the spring. So that area there, oh my gosh, my husband and I, we were cutting, snipping, trying to remove the leaves from this area, but it's just so thick. Like, it hasn't been touched for like I don't know, 2 years, I believe. So we've got a lot yesterday, and it looks like we still have another, you know, we need to have another day for that one to make sure that all the leaves are gone. I really would like to remove the leaves so I can see the layout of the rocks and things like that, so I can plan my the garden for next season. So anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and put all my bulbs in this area in a drip. So drift, that's what I meant, not drip, drift, in a drift. So it's gonna be a grouping of about 25 bulbs, not really along the wall, but just in this area here around the middle, so that I could put a little bit more sort of plant in early spring. And I have quite a bit of bulbs, probably I don't really know how many they are, but I'm looking at about 500 bulbs that I could put in this area and towards the front. I don't think I'm gonna have enough to cover the other side. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I do not have I wasn't able to order the auger, so I'm just gonna do this the hard way. So here are the bulbs that I'm gonna be planting. Unfortunately, I was not able to order auger from Amazon, so it looks like I'm gonna be doing this the hard way, using that trowel, that little thingy that you use to plant your bulbs, and then I don't know, a shovel maybe. So that's what I'm gonna do today, and I'll just plant and plant and plant until I am done, and I know I'm gonna really feel good after I do it. So anyway, I was able to plant the bulb, I think November 10, which is, no, November 9, which is a Friday or Saturday. And that was the day before we have the snow. And thankfully, I didn't stop until I got them all in the ground, because the following day it was snowing. The temperature went from 67 to 23. There was freezing rain and about 3 to 4 inches of snow. You can still see from the background the amount of snow, and this is day 3 of that day that it was snowing. My dog here is eating snow. Right here in the front and up there, and right here too. And then River, come here. Don't go away, babe. And then quite a bit here. So hopefully the did not freeze their R's off and die on me. So quite a bit here. And then really I had alliums. Oh gosh, this place needs serious cleanup here. So there's quite a bit of alliums there, and then another alliums there, maybe 10. And then right here, River, come here. Right here I was able to really plant quite a bit, like around this hydrangea, all throughout this curve here. So that should look good in the spring. This area here where I was hoping that I will plant all the bulbs are actually deep. You know, they're just so much pea gravel and garden cloth. River, come here, hon. And there's just no way fighting them, so I quit and abandoned the idea. But there was some mums here. I pulled them all up and then planted quite a bit of bulbs here, all three of them, daffodils, three kinds of them, daffodils, tulips, and alliums. So this should be beautiful in the spring. And then right there in that island there, those are really fertile, dark, really soft soil to dig. So I planted quite a bit of them just around there are three groupings of rocks there. So I planted quite a bit of them. You're really cold. Are you really cold? Oh, my poor boy. My poor boy is shivering. My poor boy is shivering. But how is it that when I look away, you're frolicking and just fine? And not, I'm not shivering. Okay, did you do your business? Did you do your business? Did you? Because if you do, then we need to get in. Need to dry you up and we get in. Are you ready? Oh, I think she's ready, or he is ready. Ah. So when I was planting the bulbs, the spacing, the first two groups, my spacing was perfect, like 4 to 6 inches apart, 6 to 8 inches deep. But by the second grouping, that rule has gone out the window, because at that time I said, I realized that 300 bulbs is a lot to plant, and I really wanted them to get, just to get it in the ground for the day. Now, I did not fertilize. I also did not water after I covered them with dirt, because I know it's going to rain, but I did not fertilize. A lot of gardeners, those that are really expert in the field, advise that you put your fertilizer on the ground during, when you plant them, like a teaspoon for each hole. But I did not do that, and I am not very worried about it, because I actually have planted bulbs, because I didn't know better. I planted bulbs on a February, folks. February, and that was about, we got 50s, 55, something like that. This is Illinois, so sometimes in January and February, the dead of winter, it's actually warm here. So I ordered like a lot of bulbs from the internet. I just forget where I ordered them, but I planted them on a February. No reading about how deep they're gonna be or the spacing. I just like a poke hole in the ground and put these bulbs, and believe it or not, I had blooms come spring. So I'm not really very worried about the spacing and what I did yesterday. I think the fact that I was able to put them on the ground is what really counts, and I should be able to have some blooms in the spring, and maybe next season I could make up for the fertilizing and covering them with mulch for the winter time next year. But I'm glad I had them all in the ground, and check back with me, see if what I did worked, and subscribe and check that notification bell so that you'll get notified, and see if I failed or I succeeded in this 300 bulbs that I planted a couple of days ago. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next.